At some point, every serious business hits a moment like this. A product launch, a market expansion, a growth target tied to the board, the next funding round. Missing it isn't an option. That's usually what happens when things start to feel heavier. Decisions slow down, teams look busy, but progress feels thin. Meetings multiply, everyone's working hard, but the business doesn't really move. So leaders push harder. They add more KPIs and add more tracking. They bring in new tools. They'll reshuffle priorities. They patch fixes. They bring in expensive consultants. From the outside, it looks like action. Inside, it feels messy, disconnected, and fragmented. Here's what I've seen over and over again. It's rarely the idea that's failing, and it's rarely the strategy or the direction. What breaks is how people work and how the whole business works together. Behaviors break under pressure. Decision-making slows or becomes political. Capability gaps that were hidden when things were simpler start to show. Teams aren't set up to deliver what's now being asked of them. Work doesn't flow cleanly from strategy to execution. Ownership gets blurry. Trade-offs don't get made, and priorities change faster than your teams can adapt. When that happens, alignment slips. When alignment slips, execution slows. And when execution slows, pressure rises fast. Burn climbs, runway shrinks, deadlines get missed. Good people leave, and confidence starts to wobble. Not because the ambition was wrong, but because the operating foundations weren't strong enough to support it. Some parts worked, other parts didn't, and the business never operated as a clean, end-to-end system. That's why race exists. Race isn't a new way of working, and it's not theory, and it's not asking you to bet on something untested. It's built from how good businesses, some of the world's strongest teams, and global leaders actually run when things get real. Clear direction, real strategy choices, teams built around outcomes, planning and execution rhythms that hold under pressure, visible performance, and fast feedback. Think of it like a Formula One team. The car matters, the driver matters, but you don't win the race without the engine, the pit crew, the timing, the data, the coordination, and the decisions working together. That's what race is. An operating engine that keeps the whole business moving. 7 fundamentals that work together to drive execution, not just activity. When those fundamentals are in place, things change. Teams get to market 2 to 3 times faster, which means ideas turn into real products, customers, and revenue while the window is still open. Execution becomes 20 to 30% more efficient. So less time and money get burned fixing avoidable problems. Rework drops and pressure eases instead of compounding. And businesses deliver 20 to 50% more value because the effort is focused on what actually matters, not spread thin across work that looks busy but goes nowhere. And this is the part that most people miss. You can't scale a business with strategy, customer acquisition, headcount, new product features, or expansion plans on their own. Those things create demand and ambition, but they don't create delivery. Scale only works when those moves are supported by a way of working that can scale with them. How teams are set up, how priorities get set and reset, how decisions get made as complexity increases, how work flows across functions, how performance is tracked before problems become expensive. Without that, growth adds more weight. Customers create more pressure. More people create more coordination problems. More products create more dependency and risk. Race exists to connect those growth moves to an operating system that can actually carry them forward. So the whole business scales together, not just parts of it. Businesses need a way of working that scales across teams, functions, and stages of growth, from startup to growth to scale up. Race gives you a way to operate as you grow, to stay competitive, to hit your deadlines consistently, to adapt when things change, to meet targets, to secure funding, and to scale without the business breaking underneath you. That's what Race is built for.